Alright, here goes. More Kerbal Space Program. One moment. There's one little bar on my capture here. I'm just gonna mess with that for a second. I don't know why it does that. It just kind of shifts everything a little bit when I restart it. But that's better. That is better. Alright, we got some stuff to do. Let's see. We need... First of all, I need to restore my chat, because my chat just went away. Why is stuff breaking? It's not cool. Anyway, we need to look and see what we're going to be unlocking next. We do still need to actually unlock the atomic rocket motor. Need maybe isn't the correct term, but it would be nice. Specialized control would be cool. That would be cool. Ion propulsion's way up here. Need unmanned tech first. This might be more what I go for. Some cheaper probes. That'd be cool. Still go for the very large rocket tanks. Not convinced I need those yet. But I wanted to go ahead and do some craziness. Really? Well, we're going to take this immediate win here for a contract. And, yeah. Before I do anything else, I was going to do something else, and now I'm just going to go and do that. Because that's how I do things. So we're going to go to Juliosat. I'm going to transmit some science back. And we're actually going to close a second contract with this. So, considering it was already a viewer contract, that's pretty cool. So we're going to log gravity data, log it, and transmit. It's actually new science, too. So we're getting science, we're getting another contract. This thing is a champ. Not enough electric charge, though. Okay, well, that's unfortunate. Let's just time warp a little bit until it starts getting some sun. There we go. Position it so it's getting lots of sun. That should be good, and then roll it into a really good position. There we go. Lots of sun. Lots and lots of sun. Now let's try that again. Send that back. Hopefully not run out of electricity this time. Which almost seems inevitable with this craft. What on earth? Okay. Warning, transmission interruptions may compromise data integrity. That's interesting. Can I get... more science? Or more science. Well, can I get more electric charge from another position here? It's like the best I can get is like 243, 244. It's like right there. Yeah, 244 looks like probably the best I can do. So this time we're going to allow partial. I'm going to try one more time to get a proper signal off. I don't know why it's so brutally awful. Oh, that's true. I could leave SAS disengaged as well and kind of help that along a little bit. Thought I allowed this to... Wait a minute. Allow partial. Allow partial. Okay. Now both of them are allowing partial. Try that again. I really wish I'd put more electric charge on this guy now, and I think the future versions might have to do just that. Okay, we're just going to, one more time, log gravity data, and go ahead and transmit it. Again, I am asking it to allow partial. Oh, it's actually biome specific. Okay, it's slowly sending it back now. Just slowly dying slightly. No big deal. Almost done. I had no idea that that was going to be a biome-specific kind of thing. That's potentially a lot of data we can collect with this. But okay. I should have closed out our contract there. Yep. Pretty cool. Pretty cool. And the heck. There we go. Alright. Another contract down. Ba-bum. I could probably do these pretty easy. I just don't really feel like it. This is the one I wanted to do today. Is the surface outpost at Minmus. Well, not do it. I'm probably not going to finish the contract. But I do at least want to start building it. Because this could help our mining operation significantly and also our data collection around Minmus. So what I want to do... I think. First off, we're going to need some kind of data collection craft. Going to need something. Because I want our scientists on station to be able to go to different zones, collect science, and then return. Don't know if this is going to be the right choice for this. How heavy is this? Pretty light, actually. Okay, that might be what we want then. Just put some some structural parts on just because it's fun and I can do that. And why would I not want to do that? I'll start putting structural parts on. There we go. Right there. Make us a neat and clean It doesn't really let me do what I want to do there, does it? So I'm just going to put another one of those on. Nope, that's not the one I had. I had this one. So there we go. Science! Let's trash that. It looks ugly. Actually trash it this time. Thank you. I'm just going to go ahead and say that looked ugly. So we're going to come up with something else here. Let's start with a couple of these. Alright. Structural plates. Why not? They're nice and light. They're cheap. There we go, and we want some more of these. I want to make us a sort of a skiff vehicle. For a min-miss. There we go. Change everything to... Unless I want dark? No. Well, little hovercraft. I don't know why I didn't just change. There we go. The type before I did that. Okay, then we put another one of these right here. Okay, one of those maybe right at the bottom. No, not what I want to do. Not where I wanted that either. This does not want to do what I want it to do. Okay, you're being weird. Alright, maybe that's probably not the way to do that then. I don't know. I've never really built something like this. This is uncharted territory for me. I'm going to try not to use that as a crutch, but is the reality of the situation, I guess. Nope. Nope. Center that. It's not really centered. Is there a way to center this? Of course not. That'd be too easy. So let's move that just a little bit and center it. Something like that. Is that center? Let's make it center. There we go. Okay. And then I'm going to use monoprop. Some big old monoprop tanks on this thing. Oh, go turn it. Snap back on. Not that these let you use snap. Okay. It's fine. Is what it is. Little big monoprop tanks. Just put like a center of mass thing on this just so I can make sure it's actually centered. There we go. I don't know why it insists on being this weird. There we go. Alright, so there's my ridiculous amounts of monoprop. I do want like a small dock on the bottom. Yeah, let's keep that just like it was. And then landing legs. Wow, that looks dumb. Okay, let's put two like that, and then let's put two like that. Okay, we're getting somewhere. Okay, we need a passenger seat. Put that right on the center of mass. Okay, it would sure be helpful if it's centered. Okay, there we go. Alright, then we need a bunch of experiments and whatnots. We do probably need a ladder. I think these are probably going to be ridiculously oversized. So maybe I should just put one of these on, maybe? Doesn't look silly at all. There we go. A little more rotation. There we go. And then we want some kind of communication capability. Losing my voice. Losing voice. Okay, there we go. Extend the antenna. So that would be our little drone. Okay, we need some monoprop. So first off, aiming straight down, we should have a pair of the more powerful thrusters. Just like dead center like that. Okay, that's good. Wow, those are buggy. There we go. Just turn on. Object snap off. What's that? Where does that put the other one? This is a strange craft. Okay, let's see if I can come close to centering these. It's horrible. The idea is I want like a kind of EVA bike, if you will. Damn. There we go. Okay, so we got left, right. Okay, yep, that should do. I want to put a bunch of science experiments on this. So let's put one of these in the middle. Okay. Well, these are big. I thought this was going to be small. I guess I'm not going to use that. Okay, a press bat, ravioli, seismic accelerometer, thermometer. Let's put this back here. Okay, we don't need to bother with the atmospheric scanner. Need to like move these a little forward. So let's put that one there. This one there. That one there. On there. I should balance the weight a little bit. Move this a little back towards the seat. Okay. That's a bunch of science experiments. That should do. Alright, so this little guy, 1.38 tons. Ideally, I want this darn thing, which looks absolutely stupid, to be our little scout bike for Minmus, if you will. And one of the catches to that is I'm going to need it to refuel in order for this to make any sense at all. So we're going to do that. We're going to just go ahead and set this up. Specifically to there we go. Specifically to refuel itself. So hopefully, using RCS, I can land it directly on that port, which my confidence in myself is minimal at best in this regard. So we're going to give ourselves just a little bit extra room on each side. I'll have to launch this, I think, along this axis. Alright, and then we want to put some ore canisters. Like this, which would clip through the legs. So let's not do that. Let's put them further down. Okay, this is going to obviously need to have its own landing legs, based on what I'm seeing right here. Or I could just not put those there, I guess, because I could just be smart. Okay, let's just put those like that. Maybe not completely in, so I can actually... No, you know, it doesn't really matter. I won't be able to I won't need to be able to access them, I don't think. Okay, so we'll do that. What else do we need? We need some crazy stuff. Utility. We're gonna need a Convertotron 150. Not 2. Just 1. Let's move this up a little bit. Okay. This is already looking like a monstrosity. I don't really know how this is gonna possibly work. But I am gonna make a attempt of it. Okay, yeah, those can go on both sides. That can go on one side. These can go on both sides. Nope. Like this. Thank you. Okay. That like that. This looks so silly. Okay, that's going to be to slow it down. That's going to be for the actual landing. I am going to need legs for this. Or no, don't do that. Let's do that, and then let's kind of just... Okay. Create a kind of level surface for these to this little contraption to lay on. Okay. This is definitely one of the crazier things I've designed. I don't really think I need this. I think I probably need like the separator. And then we need some... Oh, I never put batteries on this. That's kind of a bad idea, huh? Oh, we need some batteries. And solar panels. Because those are things we need. Put some batteries there. Some batteries right there. Solar panels are also a good idea. This thing is just hideous. I'm not even quite sure what I'm doing here. Boom. Let's just throw one of these on. It'll just go like that. Is that gonna work? Probably not. Let's angle that back, maybe? Oh, and then let's make it just one of those. That's the other side of that. Oh, nope. There we go. Solar panel. Alright, we're going to need some more solar panels here. Okay. Looks pretty good. So we're coming up with a base for this little scooter thing. And it can also refuel it. We need to put more weight in the back. I think just a small drill, or a pair of them, should do it. This thing is crazy. This is not a good idea. This is just not good. It's 8 tons. Oh, and I need radiators. Okay, let's put those. There we go. Symmetry mirror. Let's put those way at the back so we get that kind of set up a little better. And then let's put a pair of radiators. Right there. Okay. This is such a bad idea. What am I thinking? Alright, so we're going to reroute this. Just the whole thing. Reroute to this. And this is going to be interesting. All right, so put a T12 decoupler. That there. This is going to be a heavy little craft. Let's put one of these on. And one of these on. And that's going to handle our transfer, hopefully. Hopefully that'll be sufficient. We're going to need a big fairing. I need to auto strut this. Okay, that's not going to do it. That is a huge fairing. Okay. So with the gigantic fairing, and I am going to put some retro rockets on here, just to give us a chance of deorbiting this lower section. This is going to be 15.5 tons. Okay. Need a 15.5 ton launcher, which would be a 17-ton launcher, really. A Centurion Heavy, which would use a wider base. So I'm going to have to nix this. Okay. Let's grab a larger fairing. How not to design spacecraft with Steve. Okay, so now this becomes a 15-ton payload. And it's quite awkward, so I'm just going to go ahead and use the 17-ton launcher. I've got extra fuel. This should be able to do a min-miss transfer. If I fix the staging, we should be okay. So let's see. The boosters have to fire. The two main engines have to fire. Two pairs of separation for boosters. Fairing there. Then we need second stage, which would be here and here. Then we need Yep, that would be to deorbit that. Then we need this top engine. And then we need that bottom engine. And we're gonna try and land that craziness. This is such a bad idea. What on earth am I doing right now? Alright, let's put a communication thing right here. This is obviously going to be where we control it from. So it's going to have to control point forward, which is fine actually. It looks like it's already configured that way. So yeah, this should do. Yeah, I'm just gonna see what happens. Alright, so we're gonna try and treat this like a normal rocket. And pray that everything works. So we got a 17-ton launcher. Should be more than overkill. We're going to ride these boosters up to 10,000 meters, thereabouts. And our Centurion is going to then take us out to orbit, if all goes according to plan. Boosters are cutting off a little earlier than I expected. So up to 10,000 meters. And then we start our turn. If I could do it in the correct direction would be helpful. And we're going to tip out of control, which I guess I'm not totally surprised about, if I'm to be honest. Okay. There we go. Less angling there. Little fancy somersault. We are fine. Situation normal. Okay. Just need to get up to speed as much as possible on this stage. Drive a high apogee if at all possible with what remains of fuel. Noting how insanely unstable this is. This is without me touching the controls that it's doing this wobbling. Which at this point right now is pretty comical. So I'm not terribly upset about it. Because we do seem to still be getting what we want for an apogee at least. Okay, and we're at a safe altitude. Ditch that massive fairing. We can activate the second stage, cut it off because we cannot steer ourselves at the moment, which is a bit of a problem, actually. This is going poorly. Alright. Just need to get facing prograde again. I think the main problem here is we are we're not centered with our mass and our thrust. So we're going to attempt to do this as is, but it is really a bad idea. Okay, RCS on, maybe? Just help me out a little bit, RCS. Sure, spin stabilize, that's fine. Nothing ever went poorly from spin stabilizing. Okay. Okay, we're fine. We're good. Just roll a little more. Okay, no, not that way. This is going so poorly. I am rather enjoying the sight, but it is ridiculous at the moment. Okay. I did expect this to go this badly. Just to be totally clear. Okay, we're almost back aligned, so full throttle. Come on, come on. Yes, yes, yes. Aim prograde, aim prograde. Well, spin stabilization's good. There we go. There we go. There we are. You're doing great. Doing great, little rocket. This is absolutely horrendous. Doing great. Oh, shoot. Okay, yep, there it goes. We are back on descent already? Yeah, we're back on descent now. Okay. Well, we got most of the way to orbit, I think. This is going horrible. Like, I know the problem is that our weight is not even. But I don't really know how to fix it at the moment. So, more RCS, I guess. There we go. I want to aim up a little bit, so I want to aim like right there. Almost up to orbital velocity. Aiming up. Sketchiest orbit ever. There we go. Let's give it a little extra love tap there, and boom. Okay. Somehow this thing's in orbit. Alright, that's good. It's a step in the right direction. I'm just going to attempt to stop the rotation. Which I don't know why that's not working. Oh, I have no reaction wheels. That explains a lot. Like, I knew this was bad. I didn't expect it to be this ridiculously bad. And it would be because I have no reaction wheels. So that's a thing. That was a very bad mistake on my part. And now that's really not looking good for me. Boy, does that ever explain a lot, though. Okay. I can just actively control this for ages. There comes a point where I should probably just admit defeat on this. Which I think is going to be right now. That was apparently not enough to deorbit me. That's bad. Rocket's so bad I can't even deorbit it properly. Alright. Let's try and flip around. Yeah, we're just gonna deorbit this. We're gonna call it a valiant effort. The reaction wheels is just what's making this impossible. The lack thereof. That and the crazy design, but, you know, also the reaction wheels. Alright, we're just gonna let that burn up and explode. I think I am going to save that. Okay. New craft. Let's do some of the more mundane parts of the upcoming base here. Let's plan out. There we go. I'm gonna plan out the main section of the base, or the center section of the base, the node. There we go. Yeah, that doesn't look half bad. Except when I go and screw it up. Alright, fair enough. Let's do that. And let's move this in. Like that. Okay. And we're going to need some big clampetron docks. This will be the center of the base. Really should be building this in the spaceplane hangar. Actually got an idea of how the whole structure is going to end up. That's annoying. Always bothers me. So, center section is already going to be ridiculously heavy, so much so that I won't be able to launch it fueled. But we're going to have other components on here anyway. So I just want to get a feel for what we're going to need to put on here. So we'll have some docks like that. A pair of science labs. That's going to be important. I am not good at this whole base building thing, I don't think. Alright, I'm gonna scrap that. I'm not gonna bother with this right now. We'll end up doing that in the space plane words. In the space plane hangar. Those are the words that were trying to come out of my mouth there. So, with that thing now on descent, how far are we from Periaps? 1 day, 4 hours. That's not that bad. Let's go ahead. Let's fly our monstrous lander. Whoop, nope. Stop the warp. Stop the warp, please. Okay. Woo-hoo-hoo. Warp too far there with that. Alright, so we want to do our capture burn. First off. Which I just realized, we were going in the wrong direction for a rendezvous to the station for the Equus. So the Equus might be effed. Which is bad. Auto aim retrograde is going to be the safe thing to do. It's now hilariously unnecessary lander. It might kill our transfer vehicle. That would be interesting. So we got a 1 minute burn, which I can't help but think is thrust limited, which it is. So we got a 25-second burn. So we're going to want to be about 12 seconds away from the maneuver, between 13 and 12 seconds. And we're going to do our capture burn, and then hopefully be able to save the Equus. Hopefully. Which at this point, if I short change the lander, I'm not terribly worried about that, because the lander's completely not necessary. At this point, we've completely bypassed the need for it. But since we're here, we're going to try and get some ore. So really hoping I don't end up killing our transfer vehicle. Okay. So at least have a capture burn. That part's good. I don't need to get the whole thing back into a reverse orbit, just the Aquis. This, okay. Does this still have fuel? This is still fully fueled. Okay. Alright, that's fine. That's fine. So this is supposed to... I don't remember what on earth I have this one stage for. If I'm to be honest. Like, I think I was supposed to already use that, and I didn't, and now it's going to have to deorbit it. So, okay. Things are getting weird. I'm going to desperately try and save the Equus at Perry Apps here. We're one day away from Perry Apps. So I'm going to try and do a little two-stepper here. First off, separate the two vehicles. So this thing's going to try and deorbit itself with just these engines. Just barely. Just barely deorbits itself. Okay, that's good. That's a good step. This is fine. This now has a lot of delta V. Okay. Splendid. Zero this one out and go back around, and bingo. Alright, so we at least got it in the right direction of an orbit. We'll get it to the station later. Right now we need to focus on the lander, since it is on a collision course with Minmus. Okay. This is going to be a little mental. Why did I do this to myself, I wonder? Okay, we're going to warp here. Whoop! No, don't do that. Don't do that. Okay. Forgot about the reverse orbit. Almost made it try to like time warp through Minmus. Oh, Lord. I am not doing so great right now. Okay. So now we're going to aim retrograde. I basically have no control of where I'm going to try and land this thing. So I'm just going to take any landing zone I can get at this point. Which actually might turn out being exactly where I would want to put it if I had a choice. So that's a thing. Somehow this is aiming retrograde? Oh, I see. Okay, well. Kill the engines. And separate that fairing. That fairing will go and smash into Minmus. Why do those... Okay. Word of advice to everyone is do not attempt what I'm about to do. This is a very bad idea. Also, one of the things that might help significantly is if I actually activated the fuel tanks here so I could actually try and land this thing. Time warp a little bit. Now, this thing does have a lot of delta V. Am I looking for a landing zone? It's looking like I'm heading for that little mountain. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to go back to stability assist. I'm going to aim us directly towards Minmus. And I'm just going to do a very short, very low throttle burn upwards. Just see if I can make it over that little mountain. See, I'm now pushing the orbit out. Let's see if I can get it into that lake that I want to be in. So I'm going to overshoot a little bit on purpose. And then I can go back to aiming retrograde, and that should work, theoretically. Make sure it finishes aiming before I do that. Watching altitude carefully here. Starting to look actually pretty good. Not horrible. Things are looking not horrible. That's the best way to describe them. Just going to give us a little bit more of a hover real quick. There goes our fairing, finally smashing into Minmus. A little more of a hover. Okay. Back to retrograde. Alright. I'm going to try and put us down right here on the ice. I think this lander might have actually done the trick. I think if I had to complete the mission the responsible way and not the cheaty way, I think this would have done the trick. Although I am kind of whipping through this right now because I know I don't need it. So I might be kind of undermining it a little bit. And this does have to get itself all the way back to Kerbin. And then somehow land safely. Wait till I'm over the ice field. Or the Great Flats, or I think is what they're actually called. Okay. Alright, alright. This isn't so bad. Decelerate completely. So that we have a completely vertical drop. Nice. Okay, a little bit of time warp. Okay, yep, definitely going straight down now. Okay. It's going straight down. I know the ice counts as sea level. The game is very concerned for my craft's well-being and has slowed the time warp down. But we're looking good. We're fine. We are gravy boat right now. Absolutely dandy. Massive two-stage lander is looking good. Took about 2 seconds to slow down, so I want to be... So about 8 seconds to slow down. So what is that, 800 meters? 800 meters I'll hit full throttle. Nope, that was way overkill. So 250 meters, I'll hit full throttle again. Okay, that was, again, too much. I managed to do that in like 50 meters, so let's wait for 50 meters. Perfect. Just little hops. Okay. And we're landed. We're landed without any kind of horrible catastrophe. Okay, so now our mining legs go out. We retract the main landing legs. Okay. That gently puts the craft down on the engines, which just bounced back up for some reason. We're going to turn SAS off real quick. That should help. Okay. Deploy the drills. Oh, what is wrong with me? Why? I did all this and I don't have any... Oh my god. I don't have any, don't have any radiators. Just overheat it. It's not important, right? It's gonna be the most painfully slow. Why would I do this to myself? Alright. I'm gonna be a little cheaty. I'm gonna let the temperature come down. I'm going to deploy both drills, and then I'm going to immediately switch over to something else. That is hilarious. That is a horrible failure on my part. Massive, what is this, 30-ton, nearly 26-ton vehicle. 26-ton lander. I forgot, out of all things, the radiators. That thing's going to take a minute to cool down. F it. Let's start both, and then let's switch over to the Equus quickly. Wherever it is. Let that thing do its mining, and I give up. Alright, we're going to work on getting the Equus to the Deep Space Gateway for refuel. So first is going to be an inclination correction. And we're going to lower our altitude to a circular orbit below the station so we can catch up to it. Okay. This will be an incredibly quick burn. I can turn the thrust limiter way down. I do some bizarre stuff. Hopefully we don't have as many problems with the satellites that are on the way to Minmus. Some contracts we can close with those. Okay. Now we start planning out a rendezvous burn actually should be coming up fairly soon here. Yeah, actually. So actually having a fairly easy time with our rendezvous, at least. Even smaller burn here. We can turn the thrust limiter down even further. And we'll warp just a little closer here. To get our maneuver spot on. If we do this right, it'll bring us directly to the Deep Space Gateway. With really minimal effort. That really did go good. Go well. Go good? What's wrong with me? Go well. English language, Steve. Don't butcher it. Alright. Got just a little off, which is going to translate to what? 500 meter separation? I think I'll take it. I think I'll take 500 meters without any objection. We'll go ahead, we'll warp there at this point. Aim retrograde to target. Thrust limit ourselves up at least a little bit more. Probably don't need a full throttle, but, you know, I'll just ramp up into it. And we should be coming up fairly soon. I'll just do this one eyeballing it. And we should get within 500 meters or so. I think we'll get a little closer than 500 meters. Yeah, we will. Make this a fairly rapid approach. I gotta figure out where we're gonna be docking this thing on the station. I believe most of the station is fairly occupied at the moment. I think I can dock it on the back of the science lab, though. Is that an open port? Does appear to be an open port right there. So that's going to have to be the one we go for. Yep, set as target. Okay. That would be the back of the science lab, as I suspected. So let's get ourselves in alignment and switch over to RCS systems. Wow, it sure would help if I knew what the heck way around this vessel was. Okay, so that's the top. Okay. Here's at the bottom. That's a very confusing orientation. I don't know why I would do that to myself. Okay. It's more aggressive than I usually do that. It's pretty aggressive maneuvering overall. Oop. Still in rotation mode, that'd be why. Wow, I am way off on pitch. Wait, auto strut. Okay, auto strut's disabled. Whew. All right. So the Equus is back to Deep Space Gateway. Okay. Tiny bits of insanity. No biggie. See if we can get rid of one of these tanks or another. This one, I think, is due. To be quite annihilated. Apparently not. It has a lot of monoprop. That would be kind of wasteful at this point. I'm going to refill the monoprop in the Equus. However, let's refill all those now. I do still need to make a practical ore mining lander. Or practical landers at all. These landers are not practical. They're horrible, actually. They just do not have the delta V required to really do a min-miss landing with anything other than just bare minimum science and back. Which at this point I don't really want to do with landers. I want to do that with a ground base where we get more science. All these monoprop tanks are all full. Of course, don't have any monoprop on this guy. Yes, I do. But I don't have any way to use it, so its tanks are full. Okay. Fill some more tanks. I do also need to remove, at some point, this nuclear stage and use it for kind of a one-off run to Duna self-destruct mission. Because I did not design it properly, and I am at least going to complete the contract with it. Since I do have to send something on a suicide run into Duna anyway to complete a contract, I might as well do it with the craft that is useless. Noticing craft are starting to wobble. I don't know if that's from the fuel transfer or what that is. It appears to progressively be getting worse. So I think I need to do things aren't supposed to wobble like that. Okay. Any other reaction wheels? Yeah. Pilot only. Nope. Nope. I don't want that. Okay. And it's gonna go through, disable all of them. So this thing can stop being ridiculous. A lot of different parts of this that have torque. Alright, I think that fixed it. Possibly. How are we doing on science, by the way? Ooh. 139 science. Transmit that down. We can review data. Okay, keep. There we go. A full lab. Nice. All right. Now, while all kinds of other stuff is going on, namely, we got our Grav Probe 1. Should be coming around very soon. Let's go to Valentina Kerman Station and radio back some science. Let's see. We can also review some data here. Okay. Do you want to see? Let's see. I have Nedbo and Cambo in that one, so I'm going to grab Nedbo. I'm going to EVA him and grab that last experiment to bring over to the other bay. Just like a pro. Look at that. So he's going to store the experiment. He's going to head back the other way. In reverse, because he doesn't even need to look. He's a pro. All right. Wrong button. There we go. Back in the lab. And now we can review the data over here. Although they're at full. Experiment. Well, I guess it does transfer to both. Looked like this one was wobbling too for a second. Anyway, they're on the dark side of the moon right now. Not to be confused with the far side. Two different things, guys. I had a decent amount of science to radio back. Just I can't put this in the lab, though. I could bring it back with me. Yeah, they could bring that one back. I guess that's just going to be one experiment they take all the way back to Kerbin. Now, electricity is not the best on this station, I'm finding. Let's just get this thing into the sunlight once more. Look how fast it drains power. Boom. And whoop, right back up. So they just had a little bit of a power outage. Trying to maximize the solar panel exposure. Although that did not help. That actually made it worse. And even worse. Okay, we are not helping right now. See if edge on. We can do any good here with solar. This one's probably blocked. Yeah. This thing has a remarkable amount of, like, uncontrollability. Like, please stop spinning. There you go. Now it's spinning back the other way. Okay. Why? Okay, let's just time warp. Get a bunch of electricity in this thing. Bingo. Okay, full charge. Now we're going to ruin that. So we're going to transmit science. Transmit science. So another 300 science we will have out of this station. Bingo. Okay. That was an adventure. And we have Jebediah Kerman Station. There we go, Jebediah Kerman Memorial Station. All right. Another 89 science. What do we have? 6 Kerman on board? Yeah, 6 Kerman. Interior overlay. That's so cool. You can see inside all the craft, by the way. I love that. See where all the Kerman are. So, of course, we've got Kerman in the science lab. Got another Kerman in the module here. Don't know where our other Kerman are. They're not in the... Guess I left some in a capsule somewhere? Did I? It's inconsiderate of me. I must have, but I don't see which one. Oh, there we go. Yep, I left 2 Kerman just chilling in a capsule here. So we're gonna just go ahead and move them to a more comfortable spot here. A little more breathing room. Aim camera. There we go. That's better. There's 2 of our Kerman. Of course, 2 more in the lab. We got Bill in there. I like that there's like a lot of seats in here, but you can only use the 2. That would be pretty cool if you could put Kerman in the other seats. I wonder why they did that. Why they bothered to make it like that. And then our other hitchhiker has our other 2 Kerman. There we go. Everything's set up properly. What is this add slot thing? Remove slot, add slot. What does add slot do? Oh! Expands or something. Okay, got it. Got it. Go back to the Space Center. getting near the end of stream. $787 science. That's pretty good. Hey! Just wants us to have... Oh, really? Put ore in orbit of Kerbin. 600 units of ore. I could totally do that with that lander. Taking it. Rescue Danany. Danany. Kerman. Return her safely to Kerbin. Okay, yeah, that's a good amount of money that we're getting there for doing that one, even though it's trivial. Low Kerbin orbit. That's a nice, easy one. Let's just let's do that before I cut stream here. We are, after all, a space Uber service at our core. That's not what I wanted to click on. I wanted to click on our research center because we have 791 science. So yeah, we could do the large tanks. That would be cool. However, I think what I want to do, I'm a little short on. I think what I want to do is I want to have ion propulsion for our satellites. Seems like that's probably the responsible thing to do. Now, I could be putting funds into aerodynamics finally, because I've neglected aerodynamics a lot. I'll come back to that. Let's do this unmanned tech. So then that'll get us ion propulsion soon. So it does give us new cores. So an Octo 2, which is, I assume, even lighter than the regular one, and gives us more control. Is it actually lighter? Yes, it is. That's good. So is this one. Wow, that one's pretty light for its size. Let's just check it compared to the Octo. Octo is 0.1, yeah. So that's 0.07. So 70% the weight. And it's cheaper. Only has stability assist, but that's all right. Yeah, that's a good thing to have. Okay, and when we get a little more science, we'll do the ion propulsion. Let's go ahead and get this rescue done. The rescue should be quick. Rescue should be easy. Whoop. Okay. Okay. There we go. So that'd be the Actarius. Oh, no, I'm thinking of the crew launcher. Do you not want the crew launcher? We want the Capsarier, which is the rescue craft. And now, one of the cool things we can do, we can reroute this to here. Pull this crappy core out. Put this cheaper one in. Not bad. Saves us a little money. Update this. So we now have the cheaper version. I did learn that having just 2 of these is a bad idea. However, there's an easy way around that, and that is not what I just did. There we go. A little angle on it, and that'll cause a rotation, and they'll spin stabilize. That should help us. Alright, so we're gonna have to fix the staging when we're done here, but this is a nice light vessel. Hold on. Let's reroute this to the actual core like we're supposed to. There we go. Alright, we don't have any stowaways. Okay, or that could happen. There we go. Alright. Want a rocket that can handle 5 tons. So that'd be our Optio. That should do just fine. Actually going to intentionally short fuel this down to be precisely 5 tons. So we don't need as much fuel as we're probably launching with. Okay. It'd be sure nice if that would stop happening there. Keep forgetting that that's closed. There we go. Alright, now to set it up for launch. Towers and main engine. Followed by second stage engine. Dropping the fairing comes next. Separation and the retros comes after that. Then we have the 2 capsule engines. Then we have the claw disconnect. We have the capsule disconnect. We have this plate which just needs to be disabled. We have the drogue chutes, and then we have the main chute. Okay, make sure we don't have a Kerman stowing aboard, which we do not. Claims there's 2 capsules out there. Where's the other one? It says 2. Oh, it's the one I have here on the pad. Okay, that'd be an excellent reason. So that's going to be our target. We are going to wait for it to come around. Hopefully I'm not missing our window of opportunity on our satellite over there. I might have to do the satellite tonight because it might just be about to get into its capture. We're gonna let this one get in close, because we're probably going to end up a little above it. So we want it to actually kind of overshoot us just a little. So like right about there. Alright, full throttle, and off we go. So our rescue vehicle is on the way. So we go straight up for 10,000 meters and then start turning prograde. There we go. So driving our apogee as high as possible with the stage. Not as high as possible, but driving a high and shallow suborbital trajectory and hopefully getting apogee up to 70,000 meters. That is at the point that I will stop trying to drive apogee and level out. Which is actually looking pretty good. So we're just going to start going this way. Excellent. Let me figure out what we need to do to create our final orbit here. Definitely more than that. Okay. I did this backwards, didn't I? I sure did. I sure goofered there. Let's ditch the fairing. Oh. Okay. Didn't know that was on. Oh, and missed my window. There we go. Too busy adjusting the orbit and not enough time being spent paying attention to where we were on the orbit. So second stage of the Optio, driving us to orbital velocity. Because I was not planning properly, I was supposed to get in front of that vessel if I was going to be in a higher orbit. My brain was not working. I am going to now have to try and get this to a very tight orbit. So this is going to be kind of hairy. Quick correction burn is planned out here. This will circularize the orbit a little better. Gives us a perigee that's actually above the atmosphere, which is typically pretty helpful. We do want to very carefully lower our orbit when we get here to apogee. So let's warp there. I'm going to try and keep us at, again, as low a orbit as we can manage safely. Still using this second stage engine to try and pull this off. Okay, that's pretty good. And we get to perigee. We'll go ahead and lower it again. Make sure I don't lower it too far. There we are. Nice circular orbit. We'll warp there. Get ready for this maneuver. Alright, so this should get us into our bare minimum altitude orbit. And allow us to catch back up to our target. That should do it. Yep. Very nice low orbit. So we will just barely be catching up. That's looking good. So what I'll do right about here, here we go. Start setting up our timing, and then the flip side, we're going to go ahead and set up the altitude. So we can warp all the way there. Still doing quite a bit of maneuvering with our second stage here. So the Optio definitely doing all that is needed. I'm starting to think I should make a lighter version of this craft and start launching on the Canis. Trying to save a little bit of money. Okay, we're going to need to accelerate again. Once again, cut down the thrust limiter even further. So I can actually attempt this burn with some semblance of accuracy. Okay. That looks very good. Now on the flip side of the orbit, work on getting the altitude right. Do some radial change so we get the timing right. Oh, almost at it. Okay, that's pretty good. We'll have an ascending node burn to do as well. And that'll bring us within 100 meters. Very good. Very, very good. So we'll go up to the next maneuver. Back up to 25% throttle. Back down to 12% throttle. A little higher, 14%. Yeah, I'm starting to think I could just kind of cut down a vehicle to literally just be the second stage of a Canis with just a little extra fuel, and I would probably be fine. Alright, we have a very good rendezvous coming up. And very low relative speed. Should have no problem at all. Time warp stopped. Why? Why did you stop my time warp? Oh, because I am slightly in the atmosphere. Okay. Got it. Understood. Don't know how that happened. Did something I wasn't supposed to do, apparently. Okie doke. Just, let's just deal with it. We're not really losing altitude that fast. Should be back into orbit very shortly. Or orbital altitude. There we go. Space. Okay, let's warp in close. So just enough time to flip retrograde to target and execute a burn at our closest approach. It should be a very fast burn. Indeed. Indeed it was. So station keep. And then we can aim directly at it, which would be the opposite of the way I was just aiming. There we are. You know, I'm going to end up wasting fuel anyway, so what I'm going to do real quick, just going to aim orbital prograde, and I am going to stage off this lower section. Just get rid of it. It's just a little easier to maneuver with our RCS. As you can see, that rotation stabilizes that lower stage now, so no debris left in space. Okay, we're just going to activate these engines. Just a little bit of a burn towards the target. What's that once we get there? And then we'll go for the clamping maneuver. And take the debris down with us. Not leave any trash in space at all. Nice clean operation. Can't really hardly see this thing from here. But we're going to go to... Oh, there it is. Wow, that was like really hard to see. Alright, let's get ourselves lined up with it. Should be like this a little bit. Nope. Oh, I put the core in like sideways. That's what's messing with me. I gotta fix that for the next one. that should be close-ish. Be a lot easier when it's daylight. Now let's get our Kerman over first of all. Because it's probably going to make the craft go crazy. Actually, that was a bad idea because that means it's going to be harder to grab that thing. Oh, that's the two-man pod. That's actually a big pod. We got a happy Kerman. So I guess I'm not really going to worry about grabbing this thing dead on. Just go to docking mode. So get my directions all screwed up. Start using the nav ball like a proper dock. Grabby, grabby. I'm almost going to be grabbing it nose first. Oh, it doesn't let me grab it nose first. Okay. That's handy. Just going to spin around a little bit. And then we'll go for it again. Why is that not grabbing? There it is. Just had to be a little forceful with it. Alright. Let's try and get this near Kerbal Space Center, because we should be coming up on it. Let's, put that right here. A lot of fuel to try and do this with. Let's just try and aim it, like, right there. Let's just aim right at it. Dumb aim it. Even aim it a little short. Yeah. Should be fine. So we're going to have a 2-minute burn. So in 1 minute away, I'm going to start our burn. It's 1 minute and 8 seconds or so. 1 minute and 9 seconds actually. The RCS help us out a little bit. Almost time for satellite capture. Okay, there goes our fuel. Now we eject this top section off. We control from here. And we drop this lower section off. I have no pilot on board, which is fine. Everything's fine. Just going to wheel authority way down. Like way down. Just a little easier to aim here. We can do this manually. It's no big deal. We're definitely falling short of KSC. So what I'm going to try and do in re-entry is just kind of pitch us, kind of bouncing up. Let's not do that to the parachute. Let's do that here. Okay, well, it's going to do what it wants to do, I guess. So we're going to be coming down in the mountains. So I definitely short shot this one. But the aerodynamics doing their job. Drogue chutes are out. Main chute is out. Did I leave the ablator full? No, I did. I did do the cut down ablator, so I at least remembered to do that. On the bright side, I have no idea if I ever got surface samples from out here in the mountains. So I am going to try and do that, since we have a scientist here anyway. Oh, there goes another piece of our craft. Give us a little more wheel authority again. Give us a pitch way up so we can land upright. Perfect. Sort of. Sort of perfect. I did get the EVA, but did I get the surface sample? Oh, this is Highlands. That stinks. Remove neck ring. Oh. Interesting. If you equip the helmet without the neck ring. Oh, it just kind of does it? Extra 2 science. Whatever. Okay, new crewman. Not terrible. I should check the contracts again before I call it a night as well. However, I am going to go to our grav probe, which should be very close to its... it's actually got 3 hours. Never mind. I'll do that tomorrow. Keeps looking like it's like right there. It's really not. So, plant the flag on Minmus. We're going to take that contract because we're going to be there plenty. Observational surveys of Mun. So got that synchronous satellite orbit coming around for Minmus as well. Gravimetric surveys, temperature surveys. Oh yeah, how are our solar orbit satellites doing? I forget they're there sometimes. I really do. I'm probably going to have to start declaring a bunch of these to be junk, to be honest. Because a lot of these are junk. Like this. Like this thing. Which, hilariously, is a functional relay. So actually not that bad. At least that has some use to it. This, though, this needs to go. This Poor doomed probe. It now has no radio contact. We're just going to rename it. We're just going to change it to debris. So I don't keep tracking it, because there's no point when I can't control it anyway. And let's see, what else do I have out here? This one I think was the fairing test vehicle, which I was just praying would get close enough to the sun that it burns up. Yep, this is the fairing test vehicle. This no longer serves any purpose. So, same thing, we're just going to debris, fairing test. I probably just spelled it wrong. Whatever. Okay. Oh, see, I'm getting tired. Eternal clock knows what it's doing. Sentinel 2. This should be good. Yep, Sentinel 2 is definitely healthy. Has tons of fuel. Like a lot of fuel. But its maneuver is not for a good while. Yeah. Right about here. Which is actually convenient, the ascending node and the perigee being fairly close. Well, we're on the right orbit anyway. We're on the right orbital inclination. So I don't have to worry about it. Anyway. So mark this maneuver. Plan it out way in advance. That would be perfect right there. And that would be in 97 days. So I got to make sure that we do that in 97 days. Sunset 1 is doomed. Eve probe relay we already looked at. Adventurer 1 is out of communication range now. I don't know what this is. That's awfully close to the sun, though. I didn't know I had anything that close to the sun. What is this? Oh, this is the first Sentinel. It just gave me false hope because the solar panels were going. I only put the tiniest little antenna on this, which was a very bad idea. So this first Sentinel is gonna die. And let's see. Sunset 3 would be the newest Sunset. I'll have to plan out its maneuver, make sure I'm not ignoring that. This, of course, still has radio contact. I like this tiny little satellite. It's doing good for us. Alright. So, this, we've got our maneuver a very long ways away. Just a tiny bit inclination offset. So I'll have to change that at a later point. But we can at least get things looking pretty decent here. It's actually probably within the limits. So I'll make sure I have that maneuver planned out as well, which is in 1 year, 52 days. So that one's got a very long time till it needs to do its burn. It'd be sure nice if I could really see where the ascending node was. Well, I guess it would be right here, wouldn't it? Okay, so we actually have another maneuver we've got to first get to in 172 days. So a little less than a year. And then things should be pretty good. Finally get our sun satellite out of the way. There are many attempts. And then, of course, this thing's just, I don't know what the heck. This was our temporary flyby communication satellite to rescue our first Minmus probe, which ended up smashing into Minmus anyway later on down the road. And this thing is just dead. It is trash. Alright, that was enough fun setting up maneuver nodes. Ugh. I think that's gonna call it. Yep, I think that's gonna do. I don't really have enough science to go and pick something new out. I don't really want to do anything here with the administration building. How much is it going to be to upgrade the launch pad? I really could do that. Really wouldn't be that bad. I might want to just get to 6 million funds first, and then I know I got a $5 million backup. 5 million credit, rather. Is there any Kerbin that I just can't live without? Valgel is really good in terms of courage, stupidity. I don't know what that actually translates to, though, is the thing. So, endurance 1.59, max sustainable G 6.1. So good, basically. Gwenful. A stupid scientist. That's brilliant. Tedding. Yeah, no Kerman that I can't live without. Like there's, I would probably go over like a really cool name. Like Dottie's kind of cool, but I already got a lot of Kerbals. And they are busy fellows. I keep getting Uber contracts here, so space Uber contracts. So really don't need to hire any. It is kind of expensive too. I don't get that. That is exceptionally expensive, considering I can get paid to rescue them. Still got to get a satellite out to Duna. Gotta remember to do that. Gotta remember to get that on the way, at least. Is Duna in a good position? Probably not. Like, as long as it's out in front of... Actually, it's maybe not in bad position. I should probably launch something tomorrow. See if I can't get our Duna transfer finally. Alright. Well, that's going to be it for the night. If you do want to see more, or see me actually do stuff that's actually exciting for a stream, you can check out all our previous streams down here at the link at the bottom, youtube.com/dude I called you bro. And of course, if you want to check out the new ones, you can do that as well. I stream more or less every single night, with some recent exceptions, from 7 p.m. Eastern Standard Time to about 9 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, and sometimes I end up running a little later than normal, longer streams. But yeah, with all that being said, I think there's nothing more to say, except for everyone who watched today, thanks for watching, and have a good night.